Okay, everybody, we've got some video, audio, excuse me, just as I promised. I'm going to record a part two of last night, and let's go over here to the announcements. Look here. And in last night's section, and I need to go ahead and I'll edit that. We covered access case number 6. Okay, and we'll save this, and that will alter it so you'll know what is going on. Now, take a look at this this YouTube video. I can't remember how many minutes, but we went about 90, maybe 100 minutes. So we, to get us to the magical 150, we'll do some things that, as I promised you last night, I'm going to do a second part. Now, I want to go over here to the files, and we worked on a file last night. Put it together using the textbook, and I said you could use that one, or you could upload this access case 6.1, and I'm going to find it for us here. Here it is, access case 6.1. I want to talk about it just a little bit about what we did, because it's kind of the culmination of everything in all the processes that we went through. And that's strange. I want to access case 6. I don't want the document. Okay, hang on here. It's ACCDB 6. I'm sorry, excuse me, I'll find that here. It'd be 1. That was the one I told you guys you could upload last night. Well, let's look at the student solution files, because that's got that has one in there that's pretty much it's about as good, because I want to finish talking about some things, particularly in building tables. And there we go. And that's Uber Audio 1, so we want to click on that. I'll open it. Now, you'll want to download it to your computer so you can save it. Now, I'm going to save this down on my desktop. Uber Audio 1. You'll find this in the access solution cases. Okay, and then I'm going to enable my content. And here we go. We've got this form, and this is just a little form that opens up when you have the file. Now, so that you can see, I'm going to click File, okay, and then I'm going to go over to Options, and you'll see on the user options, okay, there are color schemes. We've got the default and all that, and on the current database, if we want to display a form, see this right here, we have the main menu. Now, there are several forms in there, but we want to get the main menu, and so we save that. We select that, and that means that when the database opens, that form opens up. And we talked about the form last night a little bit, how it's put together. Remember, with the form, we have the ability to navigate from record to record, or at the front, at the end, we have the ability to do an open text search. So if we wanted to look for a particular company, whatever, we could. All right. Now, I'm going to go to the design view on this form, and you see it, and just as a review, so you can see, here's the header. Okay. Form, and every form has a header. Now, you can also have a footer but they chose not to do this. Typically, you'll see those in reports. Okay, and we'll look at a couple of reports here in a minute. I didn't want to do short shrift with this, but I did want to get us through that first cut to see this and understand. So here it is, and then I'm going to click on that, and if I want to see what it's all about, I click on properties, and I'll get a property sheet that tells me everything about this header. And when you click all, you'll get everything about it. And you can scrunch this out if you want to see everything. You can adjust the property sheet just like you can the shutter for the objects. Okay? I just click that off. And we'll do the same here with add a new customer. And we'll click properties. We'll look at all, and we see the name, the caption, and if there's a picture, is it visible? All the characteristics of this, okay? We'll close that off. Now, the same thing for the add a new company. And let's click on it, properties, all, okay? And so we can build these buttons. Now I'm going to show you, and I didn't do that great a job last night, but I'm going to show you how to add one of these control buttons. You'll see if you see the thing, it's a button. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this form a little bit bigger, okay, or display the size of it a little bit more. I'll grab it here, and and again I'm going to take a button. I'll put it right here. And that is a command button wizard. And here are the categories of operation. And then the particular action within that category. So, and this is records or operations, record navigation, record operations, form operations, okay, report operations, application if you have any miscellaneous, and we can certainly put record operations. We can print a record, add a record, etc. Okay, we're going to do record navigation. We're going to go to the first record. We'll click next. That's okay. What you want a text or a picture to be, and name the button, and it's finished. Okay. Now we'll click on that, and we've got that ready to go. Now we need to assign it to an event. So they'll be asking us, and we go in here and build the event. Okay. I'll close that off. Then we put a label, all right, and we'll identify the particular event that we want. Now the properties, okay. Then when we go back up to the form, we'll go back up to the form view, and we'll click. Why is that not going hot for me? Okay, let's go back down here to the design view. And okay, I'm wandering us through this maze, which we don't need to. I'm going to delete this for a minute. I just don't play around with these very much, okay? So at times I'm going to be a little bit off the beaten path. Now I'm going to click a command. So let's look at this for just a second. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to do here. Is I want to build an event. I'm going to do the macro builder. And that's it. That's it. I want to I want to go to record. All right. And it would be the object type, and it's a table, and the name of the table. We'll do that task 1, and we want to go to the first record. Now I've got us going. Are there any offsets? And if I want to add a new action, I'll do that. I'll close it off there. Yes. Okay. Now, we'll go back up to the view, and we would want to create an object that we want to use. So we'll just stop those macros. So you can play around a little bit, and again, I'll put no, we won't save any changes to that. So let's close the database back and then open it back up. And I'll enable the content, and I'm going to save it as all, okay. And I had Uber Audio 1. And we'll do this to replace the ones on my desktop. Yep, okay. But anyway, I just don't mess with this enough with forms. I'm usually just running queries. So let's go back again to this, and we'll look at the design view. And there's the event, and we put a label to it. Okay. Then we build the event itself. So we'll go back up to the form view. This we can add a new customer, any of these things we want to do. Now, last night when we were working with this, we talked about some of the improvements, and I want to show you we did we created, well, prior to it, I had created a lookup table, and I'm going to open this up for you here. Here is the music interest, or pardon me, the music ID and the music interest. Okay, and we'll close this. No, we don't want to make any changes. Then let's look at Uber A. We'll open it up. It has the music interests, and when we click on there, we get the drop-down menu. Okay, and we've talked about this type of thing before. Uber C is from case 10, and I'm going to open it up for just a minute. And this, I think, is a new list that they, if I remember in that case 10, they add this list or append it to the intersection of Uber A and B. Now, we did Uber A and B last night, and let's talk about that. Click on Database Tools, Relationships, and you'll see again we talked about joining two tables. Okay. And we joined them on a shared field, and that's organization. And when we clicked on there, we saw that the relationship, we'll click on that line, and you'll see Edit Relationship, and it says Indeterminate. And that's because neither one of these is a primary key, and since they're not, they're both fields. The machine says, okay, you're linking them up, but I don't know how or why. If I have a primary key in the parent table, then the machine goes, oh, okay, I get it, but it doesn't understand. So those things like enforced referential integrity we can't do. So what we would want to do here probably would be to make organization the primary key. The problem is that we don't have unique records over here. Okay, we have many people who belong to an organization, many people who belong to a country, so it's kind of problematic. And then we went through the different tasks as we ran them. And here's task 4B. We'll open that up, and we'll go into the design view on that. And that's where we just simply join them on organization. We just simply, got the view of everybody. And we can bring this on out. And that's their name, their country, etc. There again, we did. Now I'm going to go into the SQL view so you can see the code. And you see we use the union. And that's where we take two tables and put them together. We just combine the tables. That's what a union does. Here's task 4B again, and we saw it. Okay. So you've got this. We did the mailing list. Okay. And we'll close this off, and you've got that to upload for credit. Okay. Now, or you could take the one we built last night. Doesn't matter to you. And here's another Uber audio. You could upload it. It's published as well. The point is that you looked over. We did everything in terms of working with that database. We built some queries. We combine the tables, etc. Now, what I really want to focus on is the transition that we're making now. And we're now into the independent study part of the course, and I mentioned that to you early on, and I talked about it some last night, and so I'm going to go back and talk about this again. All right, and we're going to go week by week, and we'll see where we are. Now we're at week 10. All right, and that was yesterday. Week 11. I'm sorry. That was yesterday. Was the 9th of November. Thursday. Today's Friday. In fact, this Friday morning, as I promised you, I'd do a part 2. Now, the case 12 and case 13, the Excel cases, Truman Assembly, Pacific Trading, we've done those. Okay, so you should have those uploaded. We did access case number 6 last night, so you should have it uploaded. So everything has been turned in. Okay. You should have already uploaded access 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll notice that's all there is there. So you say, okay, so next Thursday, what will happen is I'll be online, and I'll be there if anybody has a question or a problem or something like that. But that week, you should use as flex time, okay, to start to get your work done. Those two projects that you have, and the finals. Okay, so next week I'll be online, and I'll be there, but I'm not going to be covering anything because we've covered everything. Okay, and you've got that week. Don't do something foolish and wait till next Thursday night to do some work. Start today. Work on this throughout the week. Okay? You'd be very wise to do so. All right, I'm going to scroll on down here. Of course, there's Thanksgiving week. There's no class for us, so that gives you some more time to work. Of course, if you don't have your own machine, I understand that. But if you have your own computer, you'll be working. Then we come down to week 14. That's the 30th. Okay? And you have 2 access case 5 and 6. You have already done them, so you should have them uploaded. You have 2 assignments that are due on the 30th of November, okay, which is that Thursday night. And this is we talked about this, the XLS function paper, okay. It's due at 6 p.m. And now remember, as I mentioned, because we're doing a hybrid, I'm not going to do a random call and make people do a presentation. But the assignment is still due. And I talked about that. Don't choose a rudimentary function. If you're uncertain, send me an email. Let me know. Okay? And you're going to tell me how the function works. Okay? How we would use it. And so I'm looking for you just to find something that fits within your major. Let's say if you're a finance major, you're going to find something that's time value of money. You might use the NPV would be one, maybe maybe a bond pricing tool. Okay, so that's a piece of it, and you want to go see the syllabus. Okay, I had somebody ask a good question: do I need to have references? If you go over to Easy Excel over at YouTube, or you go to Microsoft Office, okay, or if you use a function from one of the cases that we've done, okay, just cite that source, okay, give me a full citation, and we're good to go. And remember, I don't want a lot of verbiage. I want to see print screens. So you have one of two ways you could do this. You can upload a Word document with your print screens, okay? Or you can upload an Excel file with your text, with a text file embedded in it, okay? Now I'll go back and we'll talk about that other assignment you've got going on. That's the spatial analysis. Okay. I'll go back up here. Okay, there's nothing in here, but if you go to the files and you go to the files area, or if you go up in that first module where I have all those resources, this will be the faster way. You'll see the document that tells you how to do that. And just do those steps and provide a print screen at each step to show me that you did it. Okay? So those are two things you're going to need to be working on. All right? Now I'm going to back to the modules. All right? And let's come down to the finals week. And we'll talk about you'll have the Excel that Excel paper, Excel function paper, okay, and then you'll also have the spatial analysis exercise. You'll have those two. They're due the 30th, okay. Now let's talk some now about the final. All right. The final schedule, because this class meets on Thursday nights, our final exam is on Thursday, December 14th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Night classes have a final on the night that they meet. Okay? Now, I've got the instructions for final exam part 1 that is due at the beginning of your final exam period. Then, and notice that you're gonna for final exam part 1, you're gonna upload an access file. You'll do some work that will require you to do that, and an Excel file. Okay, you'll need to read the instructions on those. Now, here at final exam parts 2, 3, and 4, these are quizzes that are due at the end of the final exam period. In each of them, you're allowed 40 minutes. It's open book, open note, but it's not as easy as it sounds, and I would recommend it if I were you. Get these assignments done so you can focus on the quizzes. You have to be at the lab to take a quiz? No, you don't have to, but if you work remote, you work at your own risk. So I'm giving you the assignments in advance so you can do them. You say, so Dr. Harmon, you're saying I can have my entire final and everything done and focus on my other courses. Yes, I've got it set up like that, so if you choose to do so, you can do so. Okay? Final exam part 2, which is due at the end of the final exam period, and you have 40-minute time limit. This covers some of the concepts that we covered in exam 1 and 2. So if you go back to your 1 and 2 You think about what you know about that, and it's based on them. Okay. Final exam part 3. Okay. That's another quiz. This is a quiz that covers the Microsoft Excel cases in the Solve It text. We did 13 cases in the Microsoft Solve It text. Okay. We did 13 cases. The final exam part 3 covers those cases. Okay. It covers those cases out of the Solve It book. Then final exam part 4. Okay. It's due at the end of the final exam period. It covers the Microsoft Access cases in the Solve It textbook. So these will be objective exam questions that I'll ask you about. So we did the first 6 of the Access cases. So what do we do? Okay. Now, one of the things, as I've said to you before, is that this course is a lot harder than you may think it is, because it makes you focus and manage your time. You have to be a self-starter, okay? Especially as you come down to the fact that you've got an Excel paper to do. You have that spatial analysis exercise. Then you have the final exam, which is a hands-on type of thing. That's part 1. And then part 2, 3, and 4 are quizzes. So you got a lot of work there. Now today is November 10th. Okay? So you've got 20 days basically to get everything turned in up to the final exam. So I wouldn't mess around with this. I'd get on it, get the work done. If you have a question, you can always email me. And then on Thursday night the 16th, I'll be online. Now, I may be in Shawnee. I may be at my office in Oklahoma City. I'm not sure. It just depends upon what's going on. Okay, but you're in independent study mode, and I'll be online. So if you want to stop by and ask a question, you can. Now, you can, one more time, you can use the chat function, and I'll answer your question. And that is hidden from everybody except you and me. Or if you want to, you can come online, and you can turn on a microphone if you've got one on your computer or you've got your phone, and you can ask me a question. Sometimes the sound quality is garbled on this application. That's one of its issues. And so you always, if you wanted to, you could just simply send me a chat message. Now, another thing you do is send me an email. Okay? And I'll be happy with the email I'll be happy to answer you there. Okay? So last night, just to reiterate, we linked 2 tables. We looked at a lookup table. We've done those before. We ran some queries. We ran the one nested query. You remember that's the one where we got people who had the music interest 39 or 47, whether it was music interest A or music interest B, everybody from the United States. And so we had that query. And I'll just go back over here for a second. Okay, I think I'd thrown this on my nasty desktop. So there it is. There it is. That nasty. Look at all that stuff I got on my desktop. I need to clean it up. And let's look at task 1. I think it's task 4B. No, it's a task. Let's see if it's task 5. Yeah, let's go down to the design view on this jewel and take a look at it. Okay, yeah, this is partially done. All right. That's the problem with this. All righty. We'll go back up here and we'll run it. All right, let's repair this thing for a minute. Okay, with the name, the last, the city, the state, the country. So we're going to hide the city and the state and the address. And we have the, here's the problem, right here. And we'll hide the zip code. The problem is right here, we need to get on this criteria. We also need to choose the country. I want to stop for a minute and explain what's going on. And I think that will do it. I should have. Music interest A, 39 or 47. Music interest B. And that should have worked. I'm time in the organization. Got the country. And odd that didn't work. Because we did it last night. That's strange. Music interest A, 39 or 47. Music interest B, 39 or 47. That's weird that it's not working for us. Let's look at the data sheet. No, that's not right. So, I'll close this off for a minute. I want to look at my note for just a second. We're going to do this. Let's click Create. And let's choose Query Design. And we're going to add music interest A, music interest B. This may have something we can do with those codes. Maybe the first name, the last name. And we're going to get the country. And then we're going to get music interest A, music interest B. And that should be all that we need. So I'm going to try the country. A. And we'll choose USA. And maybe the order in which we've done this. I'm going to put and they may have treated that as a number. We'll have to go look and see here for a minute. Okay, let's just look and see what we get up here. Okay, we got everybody from music interest A. And then we'll come back over. Let's look at this. Yeah, we're going to need to do that. So come down here, and on this criteria line, we'll put 39, 4, 47. Let's see if that does it for us. Help gives us the empty set. All righty. I'll try this. I think it's because those codes are treated as numbers. Let's look at this for a minute. 39 or 47. We got the hard box. USA. We get everybody from the USA. And I'll close this off for just a second. I think I know what the problem with this is. You can upload it. I'll go back up here for a minute. And I'm going to go back into the files and choose that Uber audio. What I believe is going on there is that they have set that table up, but they changed those from text to numbers. So that's going to become problematic when you got the quotes random. So we'll go up here on the file and we'll take a look at it. And I'm going to find Uber Audio 1.
And the code of that is indeed a little tricky. There it is. And we'll look at this for a minute. Okay. All right. Let's go back into this for a minute. Around the country. We want to get everybody from Australia. Let's look at these music codes for just a minute. Go into that design. And I'm pretty sure that what happened here, okay, and the Uber B, that's where we're going to have the codes. We'll take a look at here for a second. And those codes, let's go back up to the music interests. Yeah. The music codes themselves are, all right, so the music code themselves are loaded up as numbers, the ID, and the music interests are text. Okay, so so that's the problem that was created there is with that code, we didn't use text on both of them. That's why we had the issue with it. Okay? Well, that pretty much ends it in terms of what I wanted to do for part 2. We've gotten through this, and you got instructions in terms of what's going on. So we've got about, I think, 40 minutes here that we've put in. So we're close to the 150 that we need to do every week. And you'll get some time put in as well. So again, carefully look this over and make sure that you start to work. Don't get caught. Don't try to cram all this into a few days, get it done, knowing you've got stuff coming up. Okay? Well, I'm going to stop the share. Okay? And